Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about what to expect from the Sprint and T-Mobile merger. So, as most of you now know, sometime in April, we should have the companies closing the merger. It won't be April 1st anymore. That's just impossible at this point. They've already tried to ask the judge to push the Public Utilities Commission of California to an earlier decision by April 1st. That got denied. So they're just going to have to wait until April 16th. But technically, they could close on April 1st if they so choose to. And then they'll just have to wait for the results of the Public Utilities Commission. But I think they're just going to wait it out. But in the meantime, just from what I'm being told and what I'm seeing, they are already preparing for this merger. So there are some towers currently that are undergoing modernization. So those towers are already being prepped for Band 41. So at this point in time, 3 years ago, back in 2017, the network now is more ready to take on Band 41 than it was 3 years ago. So that's one thing to expect. The network is now more capable and ready to take on the Band 41 spectrum from Sprint. That goes as something as simple as towers, the rack spacing. Pretty much they're making space for the Band 41 equipment. So just something that simple is prepping for the merger, and they're doing that now. Recently had a tower that was being upgraded. It went from 4 panels down to 2. So there's that work that's ongoing. There's also some information that I'm getting from internals and some engineers that I speak with that are saying that T-Mobile is doing their whole Underpromise, overdeliver strategy. So the whole integration 3-year process, it's probably going to be a lot faster that they can integrate these networks just based on all the time that they've had to prepare the networks pretty much. So that 3-year time frame is probably, over exaggerating. Some of the engineers have even said that they can do this as fast as 6 to 9 months in the top 150 markets if they push aggressive with the plan that they have. And that's, you move all of the Band 41 spectrum over to 5G, and then you slowly integrate the the Sprint customer over to T-Mobile's network. As of today, roughly around 21 to 22 million Sprint customers have capable devices already. I predict the rest are going to get an email, a letter, and T-Mobile is going to try to get those customers into the 5G devices. So as you see here on the article, Sprint's Galaxy S20 Ultra is already preparing their subscriber base for the new T-Mobile's network. So there are some older devices that are ready. Of course, not too old, but let's say like an S10, the Note 10, those are ready for the network. And then we'll see what the new iPhone holds this year, if it'll have any of the 5G bands. I'm sure it'll have some 5G, but we'll see to what extent, of course. So another thing to expect here, of course, this will be a longer video, just letting you guys know. Another thing to expect is the company itself. It's going to get bigger. So a lot of people have already been upset about the recent job losses that T-Mobile has announced. Well, not announced, but that have been floating around. And in any merger in the past, if you come in heavy and you have a lot of redundant positions, those have to be cut. So that's going to happen. And as the new T-Mobile grows more market penetration, they just simply get bigger. They're going to need more retail stores. That's where the job growth comes in. I don't think the growth was coming from the companies combining. It was coming from the new T-Mobile being able to achieve a larger footprint on their network, and then just, simple market penetration, gaining more customers depending on their growth. We don't know what their growth looks like right now as the new T-Mobile. Are they still going to maintain that same growth that T-Mobile has had as a standalone? If they do, they're going to need more call centers. The one One of the options that was already said that on how they gain the growth on employment, they move all of the call centers that are based overseas, they move those jobs to the US. That's one. Many say that's the simple one, but I think the retail distribution has to grow as well as they penetrate new markets. The network is still going to grow under the new T-Mobile. So just as an acceleration. So we've seen T-Mobile grow the network to what it is today. And with the assets that they had and the money situation, that was, in my opinion, already, give credit when credit's due. That was already overachieving there. But now, as a larger company, more revenue, more profits, that network's going to grow at a even more accelerated pace. Are they going to match Verizon or AT&T over time? Maybe. But short term, they're just going to, as a company, they're just going to grow their network even bigger for their subscriber base. And as they do so, they're going to need more tower workers, as stated. They're going to have more retail distribution footprint, and that's going to create the jobs. But right now, early on, as the integration is happening, redundant positions, upper management, those positions, they're going to get let go. And I think the same strategy happens under the new T-Mobile. I think they're going to close some stores. I think that people are going to get let go. It's a negative, of course, but some of those people will get hired back. Under the new T-Mobile, maybe a new store opens. Like I said, I mentioned in my video, some of the stores that they're running out of their lease, they're not going to probably renew those leases in some locations. Some of those stores will get relocated. Some will be closed. Some of those stores, they may not agree on the rent. The landlord wants a rent increase. So some of that, like I said, there's a lot of variables that are taking place in this merger. And then another thing that I think too, so there are a lot of cost-saving synergies, but I think the new T-Mobile is going to borrow against those synergies. So they're going to pull out bigger loans, in my opinion. They want to grow this network as fast as possible, and they're going to have to invest a tad bit more than what they're planning. So that $40 billion over the 3 years, that's not going to be enough. They're going to have to invest a little more. I think on a yearly basis, they have to get closer to that $20 billion mark to really make a dent in the network. And what I mean by that is, so we know the integration process is ongoing right off the bat. So, like I said, the integration taking 3 years, that's far-fetched. That's not going to happen. There's no way T-Mobile is going to be stuck integrating the network for 3 years and not doing anything else. So I think the integration happens a lot sooner than what's expected. And in the meantime, T-Mobile is already planning the expansion. So they're already planning new cell sites. Of course, besides the integration, you still have to add density in some markets. You still have to decommission Sprint sites. Then you have to add your T-Mobile equipment to the Sprint Keep sites, which of course is part of that integration. But it does add more density and speed, of course, in those areas. But besides that, you still have to add the small cells that you planned on. T-Mobile plans on doing around 50,000 small cells. So there still has to be other work happening while you're integrating. And that's going to cause you to spend a higher capex than the $13.3 billion that you have planned on a yearly basis. Will that happen? Who knows? That's just my opinion at this point, kind of speculating. But I think they need to borrow against those synergies with, of course, in mind that they are going to keep growing as a company. And then they got to spend big on marketing dollars. They're gonna put a lot of hype behind this merger, of course. That's just how T-Mobile operates. Their marketing strategy, their marketing team isn't really changing. They're going to make you believe this network is, the best thing since sliced bread. That's their new marketing is going to push that. I just have a feeling we've seen their marketing kind of be BS over time, like a nationwide 5G network, and it's not really nationwide. And then also their low band 5G not really performing anything drastically over LTE. but their marketing will make the average consumer believe that their 5G network is the end all be all. So I do think that'll happen, continue to happen with this merger. I think their marketing is going to be great. I think they're going to have great marketing, but I think they're going to over-exaggerate, and they're going to make the public believe that their new T-Mobile network is the end-all be-all. It's the best network, better than AT&T and Verizon, who have spent over hundreds of billions of dollars in the last 10 years on their networks. So just keep all that in mind on what to expect. Of course, there's going to be a lot more articles coming out about this merger. I will be tracking more of the network upgrading sites on the towers and such. But like I said, right now, T-Mobile is preparing to make that room on the tower racks for the additional equipment. In some cases where Sprint and T-Mobile are on the same site, T-Mobile could decide to move to a different rack. Let's just say Sprint's equipment is on the top rack where the coverage is better. T-Mobile could just decide to move their equipment to that top rack, which makes sense. So like I said, if you on the fine tuning and looking at the little details, there could be many improvements coming to the networks. Just something as simple as moving the T-Mobile rack to the top on Sprint's rack if they're on the same tower. That's already going to give improvements even to the T-Mobile customer in that scenario. So like I said, let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this. This was just a brief video on what to expect. I'll probably, once the merger closes fully, I'll probably have to make a really long video going through all the synergies and the spectrum holdings and all that stuff, just to see what's really going to happen. And is this all really, I mean, it's possible, but is it really all possible in the short term in terms of how T-Mobile is going to present the network to be? Or is it really going to take that 6-10 year mark in terms of the expansion and the network growth? So let me know all that in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you are notified when I upload content. Make sure to follow my Twitter. I will leave it in the description down below. YouTube has dropped the ball on pushing the notifications, so I will be posting the videos on the Twitter so you guys can see them the second that they drop. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.